All right, YouTube. I'm trying to make videos, but at the same time, I have a lot to get done to get my father-in-law down here, and prepare the house for him. But in the course of doing that, I started thinking about the tools that I got from him when we cleaned out his house when he moved to the apartment. And I figured I'd make this video and I'm going to call it A Tale of Two Hammers, because I saw that somewhere. I can't remember if it was an article or another YouTube video, and I thought it was a cool idea. So I've talked about this hammer numerous times. The 20-ounce Cobalt smooth face straight claw hammer. I got this hammer when I first left the ambulance. I was using, let me see if I have it. I think I was using, here we go. I was using this hammer for a carpentry job, and it was not working. And I told my wife, I'm like, I need a better hammer. So she's like, okay, why don't we go to the hardware store, where we were living was Lowe's, and pick out a better one. So we went over to the hardware store, the Lowe's, and I picked up a bunch of them. I felt a bunch of them, and I've always just found this one really, like, I picked it up, I'm like, that's really comfortable. That's a really nice hammer. So from then on, that became the hammer that I used. When I got into production shed building, that's the hammer that I used. When I was doing remodeling, I was using this hammer. When I was doing finished carpentry, I was using this hammer. It's just a very good all-around hammer. You can drive framing nails with it. You can drive finish nails with it. You can beat on stuff. Pry on stuff. I love that hammer, and it means a lot to me because I bought it specifically to do this kind of work. I bought it when I left the ambulance and I needed to get a job doing something else, and I needed like a professional hammer. And people can laugh at me and say, "Oh, it's a Cobalt. It's not a professional hammer." Blah blah blah. Whatever. I've been using it for 10, 12 years now, since I left the ambulance, doing professional work with it. So, that makes it a professional hammer for me. I don't know that they make this style anymore that's as curved as this is. So I don't ever want to have to go and replace this for the lifetime warranty. The new ones are kind of the same, but it looks like they're straighter, and I find this very comfortable. And what's his name? What's his name? I can picture him. Essential Craftsman was talking about how Estwing hammers take on a patina that looks like something from the 18th and 19th centuries. And this does too. To me, this is taken on a patina. It looks like a well-worn tool. It looks like a tool that you beat the heck out of it, and it just keeps on going. I'll sand it off every now and again, just to clean it up if it gets wet or whatever. But you can see all the scars in that. You can see the chips in the nail claws there. You can see where I've beat on the side of this to push stuff in where I can't get a full swing and stuff like that. I have a bunch of different hammers. I have Estwing hammers, I have Vaughn hammers, I have wood handle, fiberglass handle, whatever. I always go back to this as my tool belt hammer. So as far as a construction hammer, this is the one that I bought, and that my wife and I bought. We went to the store and found that, and it means a lot to me. It's a nice hammer for me. I enjoy it. And I've used it for quite a bit. I've done quite a bit with it, and it's probably going to get passed down to my son, because I don't see this ever getting traded in. But in addition to this hammer, this is the hammer that I have in my tool belt. I also do, in addition to construction, I do a lot of shop woodworking. And for the shop, this is the hammer I like to use. This is an old Craftsman, back from when Craftsman was at Sears. I don't know if you can see it. You can kind of see it. Back when Craftsman was at Sears, and you could, it was a really high-end name. And this hammer specifically was not only my father-in-law's hammer, it was my father-in-law's father-in-law's hammer. So the story with my father-in-law and his father-in-law is when my father-in-law was growing up, his relationship with his family wasn't that great, kind of like me. And when he got older and he got out of the house and he married my wife's mother, who has since passed away, he got really close with her father, because her father was, oh God, he was everything. He was a machinist, he was a mechanic, he was a carpenter, he was a woodworker. You name it, this guy could do it. He was like my grandfather on my father's side, who we didn't really have the best relationship with them. So I'm sure there's a lot that I could have learned from him that I didn't. But his wife, so my wife's grandmother worked for Sears, and she got like this discount, and she got access to stuff before it was on the shelves. So this Craftsman hammer is the one that he used all the time doing. He did everything with it. He did carpentry with it. He did woodworking, just all sorts of stuff. This 16-ounce curved claw hammer was his everything hammer. And then when he passed away and my father-in-law got all of his tools, my father-in-law started using this for all of his hammering needs. And eventually, when he had to move into the apartment, I picked it up, and I knew nothing about it. I just thought it was a cool hammer, so I threw it in the this stuff's going to get saved, this stuff's going to go in a dumpster. I threw this into this is going to get saved pile. So I brought it home. I actually, just to see how much I liked it, see if I liked it or not as just an everyday hammer, I built a rabbit hutch with it. I will stay with this for that kind of stuff, but as a woodworking shop hammer, this is really nice. It's good for tapping chisels, because I use the chisels with the metal end for the most part. And if I'm doing fine joinery, like if I'm cleaning out a mortise, or if I'm cleaning up dovetails, or the pins or whatever, I will use this. Tap on the end of the chisel. It's a great all-around hammer. The curved claw, as I'm sure if you're watching my channel, you know this already. It's really only good for pulling nails, but honestly, in woodworking, most of the nails that I'm driving are going to be with an air gun, and I'm going to be pulling them out with some sort of nippers. So it's not really necessary. This here, again, in carpentry and construction, most of the nails are going to be driven with nail guns, with air. But the straight claw is really nice, because you can use it to dig, you can use it as a pry bar, you can use it to split wood, kind of like a rudimentary hatchet, that kind of stuff. The uses for a straight claw hammer are endless. And these are the two hammers that I find when I'm going to do work, I want, depending on the type of work, I want either this one or that one. And all of the other hammers that are strewn throughout the house, the framing hammers, the tiny little ball peen hammers, I've got a little tiny cross peen cabinet maker's hammer. I don't use those. I use this or this. And that's just the way my work style has developed. So these are my two favorite hammers, and this has been a tale of two hammers. I hope wherever you are, you're comfortable and that God is with you. Thank you.